David Settle here at Wyopreps.com, and it's time for our Athlete of the Year awards presented by Premier Bone and Joint Centers of Wyoming. We're worthy of Wyoming, and we thank them for their sponsorship this year. It's time to award our Athlete of the Year this year for the 2024-25 high school tennis season. And on the girls' side, the honor goes to Hailey Mathis-Breitkopf from Cheyenne Central High School, the girls' #1 single state champion. I see that brings a smile to your face. What is your reaction to this news as our Athlete of the Year, the second ever one for girls tennis?
It's a really big honor. It was a really stressful season, but I'm really proud of all the hard work that me and my team put in. So that's really great to hear.
You mentioned a stressful season, Hailey. It couldn't have been too stressful. I mean, you went undefeated. I don't even think you dropped a set this year. How stressful is that?
I tend to put a lot of pressure on myself too. Like the more matches you win, the more your record grows, and then it puts an internal pressure on myself, and I don't want to lose that record. And the one singles field was extremely strong this year, and there was a lot of foreign exchange students and a lot of really talented girls. So I just felt a lot of pressure to keep my record, but it was a successful season.
Well, I got to ask you, kind of compare and contrast what's the #1 singles crown like versus winning at #2 the previous 2 years.
They're both pretty tough fields. I think just singles in general is really hard on your mental game and your mentality. But at #1 singles, you kind of see players that are more consistent and that hit harder. So I had to adjust to people with better serves, people with better shots, and more consistent players.
So, what did you really focus on coming off of your sophomore season? Coach Siemens comes up, tells you, hey, you're going to #1 next fall. What was your focus coming into this year?
My focus was to expand my game and become a better player for my future too, because I'm hoping to continue tennis in my future. And so I'm kind of looking at these high school seasons as like a stepping stone to where I want to go. So just working on the little things that I want to improve, like coming to the net and getting my volleys better. And a big thing for me this season was my mindset because I do put a lot of pressure on myself. So it is a little hard to manage that, but that was my main focus for the season.
So, what did you do to kind of relieve the mental stress more than anything?
I had a lot of help from my friends and my family, kind of just when I was not playing tennis, that was a completely separate part of my life, separating tennis and social life in school, so that when I wasn't playing tennis, I wasn't feeling the pressure of tennis. And my family especially talked to me a lot, and just having people in your corner that will be proud of you no matter what was a big help for me.
I got to ask you, was it nice to have maybe kind of a playing partner in Kaylin Smedley, who also went undefeated this year? How nice was it to have her kind of push you in practice at the same time? You could push each other, obviously, but you know, considering that she was right there considered for this award, how nice was that to have her in your corner as well?
It was amazing. She's such an amazing player, and she's also a really great person. I'm really close with her too. So she pushed me the whole entire year too. I mean, winning that #1 single spot was not easy and was not guaranteed at all. So those challenge matches was again a stressful week, but she also pushed me in practices. And if I asked her if she could help me work on something, she would always do it. And she's a really, really great player, and I'm excited for another year on the team with her.
What did Coach Garrett work with you on this year? What was his focal point?
At the beginning of the season, he kind of approached me and he asked me like what I wanted to work on because he also knew that I'm looking at these seasons as a stepping stone for my future. And I told him that I wanted to get more comfortable at the net, more comfortable with my approach shots, and then again, like my mentality, like it's one shot at a time, it's one point at a time, and kind of like zooming out and looking at the big picture instead of losing one point and freaking out and thinking it's like the end of the match. So he really helped me with approaching the net and becoming a more consistent player at the net too, and then my mentality.
Well, you dominated. Your scores were off the charts most of the year. So I got to ask you, you talked about the mental pressure. How did it, as it built up, when you weren't losing a match, when you weren't losing sets, how did you deal with that? And then when you got to the state tournament, kind of take me through your mindset there as you went along the process.
Yeah, so I was extremely nervous going into state, but I was really focused. This was the most focused I'd been for any state or regional competition that I had yet because I was so close and I didn't want to like let go of that goal now. I was so close to achieving it and it was just a few more matches. So I had a lot of help from my friends, from my family, and from my teammates, and they would remind me the little things that I needed to work on. And a lot of my teammates and I actually wrote notes that we'd read in between changeovers because we play at different sites at state. So a lot of my close friends that played for two doubles, we'd write each other notes that we'd read. And then actually like a part of keeping tennis and my social life separate, in the hotel room, my family got me little Lego flowers, and so I'd build those at night just to kind of take my mind off of tennis. But Yeah, just a lot of support from my family and my friends because they understood it was a stressful time and it meant the world to me, but I just had to stay focused and I'm really happy with how the season turned out.
Well, congratulations on a great year. Did you at least get to exhale once you won the state championship a little bit?
Yeah, that that final point, it didn't really feel real. I was like, "Oh, I'm done now." Like that's it. But it was it was a big relief and I mean, like the next day I probably started thinking about the next season already, but it was a really big relief.
Well, congratulations on all your success. It's a large reason why you are our athlete of the year here at Wyopreps.com for our girls tennis. And congratulations. Thank you for taking a few minutes with me.
Well, thank you so much.